Look at this setup. Oh my gosh, I'm amazing. I don't know how you just like launched your, oh, it's stuck in there still?
Yeah, it was frozen. I had to let it sit.
I thought you like yeeted that out.
No. Okay. Welcome to Illyria.
Welcome to Illyria. I just wanted to have you in to say welcome.
Today we're doing a Q&A. We're filming a little Q&A. We asked a bunch of people on our Instagrams to ask us questions, any questions on the table. And we got some, and yeah, you know the basis of a Q&A. So we're just gonna jump right into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
What's your most embarrassing moment?
Okay.
Should we do most embarrassing moment in life or just, I think in the gym.
Okay, well, one of them I feel like we all have probably been through, where you buy a pair of leggings and you very quickly find out after your workout that they were completely see-through on a leg day. Have you been through that? Because
Everyone has.
Yeah, okay. Then another one, I got stuck like in the leg press machine. Because yours broke on yours, right?
Which one? Leg press?
Leg press, didn't it break on you or something?
Oh yeah, it fell on me once.
Yeah, so similar thing happened. And it was early on in my fitness journey. And you know, when you're early on like that, you're just sad sitting in this machine, like waiting for someone to help you. And so two guys had to like push the thing up because I was like jammed in there. Yeah. So that was pretty traumatizing.
I'd say my most embarrassing moment is probably, if you're a dude watching this, just a heads up, I'm about to talk about periods. I had leggings on super early morning.
Oh no.
Period hit out of nowhere, and I didn't know, and obviously the first and second day typically is the heaviest days. So she came and she conquered, and I did not win that day. Luckily I had a jacket, so I tied it around my waist, and instead of walking out like usually a normal person would, I just kept going.
This one is, how did you two first meet? Instagram.
One of us DM'd the other. Or not DM'd, I think we started commenting.
I think we started commenting on each other's stuff.
We followed each other. I started commenting more, she started commenting more on our posts.
The first time we ever FaceTimed was Whitney Simmons' Gymshark launch. And Shannon
yeah, those launches, they go so fast.
They do. But order didn't go through, and then everything was sold out after. That was the first time where we like talked like face to face. We just like vibed at that point.
Yeah,
and
we just complained to one another about like different things.
Shannon and I were very similar. Like you were like I think one of the first people, we're the same age, like same goals of strength training, and it was like a love story, Taylor Swift would say.
Yes.
When did you finally feel comfortable in your own body/skin?
I would say probably like a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 24. You're 24 as well. So a year ago for both of us.
Yeah. I think the thing though is there's days where you definitely still have negative mindset towards your body, but I've learned more so to keep that as a neutral, like I call them like neutral body image days. Like instead of bad body image days, it's like, I'm just neutral about myself today. And that's okay. Because although I feel more confident and comfortable in myself and my body and my abilities, those days are gonna happen from time to time. Like when your period comes and you're just like, me.
Let's see. This one is more of a personal trainer question then. How can I get 150 grams of protein in my diet consistently?
This is my current protein goal. I guess I'll do like my full day of eating protein. I start out with a bagel every morning. But a big thing that I've learned is reading nutrition labels, because there are even bagels, for example, that have more protein than others. And so I've learned to sneak in some extra protein here and there by being able to just make substitutes based on the nutrition label. I obviously have a protein source with every meal, even so I don't really have like, I guess, a full breakfast because I eat a bagel and then I work out and then I have like a snack after. And that snack usually has protein in it. And then for lunch, I'll have like tuna salad or chicken. For dinner, I'll have another protein source. But I divide it up. If I have 150 grams of protein and I have 3 meals and maybe 1 or 2 snacks, I try to make it more attainable that way versus looking at this big number and being like, how am I supposed to hit that, you know? I don't know if that makes sense. Was that?
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're struggling with protein intake, the best thing you do is probably throw in a protein shake. Like to make sure you're hitting that extra amount.
Yeah.
If you know your plates, like your actual meals aren't providing that amount. Deli meat and egg whites, if you want that too. Egg whites was the savior for me for breakfast because I eat eggs, but I add a butt ton of egg whites and it helps me hit it because it's pure protein.
I also love like the like Bonza pasta and stuff. There's so many different things out there, especially now that you can go into the grocery store and find, that I feel like it works out really well.
I would just say, recommendation-wise though, try to aim for the whole sources versus supplemental or things that say. Also watch out for things that always say, oh, added protein. Just because a protein bar says it has protein, a lot of the time they might make up for, you know, the taste with a lot of extra sugar, so the carbs will be higher, or like fats, like they'll add things to it so that you eat it and it says protein bar, so you're like, yes, I'm eating a protein bar. But the macros, yes, they're important, but also look at the ingredients as well, because sometimes they throw in like different types of cheap ass protein. You want to make sure your sources, a big chunk of it, you're getting it from natural or whole sources versus just everything that adds it, if that makes sense.
Well,
Your
glad we
turn.
could talk about protein. This one is, where do you both see yourselves in 5 years?
Ooh. Do I go
5
first?
years is 20, so it's 20, math.
We'll be 29. There's nothing wrong with being 29. by
There's
the way.
nothing wrong.
I just want to say that. If
But
you're
it's
29,
weird to
because that's going to be such a different phase of life. I'm not thinking about the number. I don't give a shit about getting older. I think it's going to be dope getting older. It's just knowing that where I am now versus where I am when I hit like 30, for example. I'm going to be living such a different lifestyle, and to think that I'm probably going to maybe have kids and maybe be married, like all that stuff, it's just weird to think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that your answer, kids?
No, I would say maybe.
I mean, maybe you don't know, right?
I don't like putting that type of pressure on me to have like certain things in my life. When people say like, I want to get married by 27, you know, and then they put that pressure on themselves, I don't think that's a very realistic thing to do. You can't control life. Life just happens, and sometimes you can meet the love of your life randomly, or you need to stay single for longer to find yourself. It's really just about going through life day by day and accepting what happens. You're gonna have a husband by then.
I was gonna say, I will have a husband.
Yeah.
In like the next 8 months. Yes.
Yep.
In Mexico.
In Mexico. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I will be married. I will hopefully own a house by then. I definitely just want to like travel. I feel like Shan and I are going to be seeing each other every like.
Travel would definitely be
Yeah, like
we're already trying to plan Oregon.
Yeah,
possibly.
we've already got more
And then
plans.
if we could, Greece would be amazing.
Yes.
But that's a big one.
Doing that, buying a house, working on the gym, definitely business-wise too, like continuing to grow that and have a community, and definitely just seeing where that can take us. But yeah, that's like the main stuff, I guess.
All right, next question. What made you decide to become a coach?
Ooh.
That's a really good question.
To be honest, I had zero intention of becoming a coach. I think I saw that there was a population of women out there who had gone through certain traumas, as we'll call it. Felt like I could help them. And at the end of the day, that's all I want to do, is just help people be in that healthier mindset of fitness. And I knew that I could do that. And so it all started with just taking on clients slowly but surely and wanting to help them become stronger and more confident, and not having to look at past ideas that we had of what health and fitness looks like and like what it can look like instead. So
I got pressured into it. I started working at a gym. I started to get to know the front desk staff and the manager, and the fitness manager who I was friends with, he found out I was going to school for kinesiology. So he said, why don't you become a personal trainer? And I started off front desk, which is, I have so many stories from just working front desk. Personal training was so much better, and it was right up my alley. So I started learning through just being at that gym.
Yeah.
And getting experience there in person. Got my degree, and then I just really loved being a trainer. It's the most gratifying things, just because they couldn't do it before, and now they can, and they prove themselves wrong. And I think that's just a badass thing in life. So that's why I became a coach long term. I slowly realized like I was getting just as much out of it as they were, because that interaction, it just made me feel so good as a human being. So selfishly, I stayed in the business. I became an online coach, and slowly but surely, people started vibing with the way I do coaching.
yeah.
And
So this next question's kind of fun. Who can do more push-ups?
we're gonna be so out of breath. No clapping ones, okay? I know you. She does clapping push-ups. Don't get me wrong, it's really cool, but damn, they hurt. This is gonna look so weird. Ugh, I'm done. 23, she can hit more.
25, I did a new PR.
Your turn, right?
Yes.
Yes.
How do you make friends through Instagram?
Hit it up, or should I?
No, you go first.
You talk to them. That's it. And you feel it out. Just like you would in life. Like, you can't just go in expecting a friendship or a relationship from someone. You have to build that connection. You have to talk to them more. You have to learn about them and see what you have in common, what you don't. Do you vibe? That sounds like such a California thing to say. Do you vibe? Do you vibe, bro? If they return the same effort that you're giving, like they're asking questions for you too, that's when I'd say like that's more likely gonna become a friendship. And if they're more standoffish, just dip. Like, you don't have to put in all this effort to force a relationship with someone. You shouldn't ever have to do that. So just, you feel it out as you go, and then you become really good friends eventually.
Yeah, I would say be genuine about it, because I definitely had confrontations on the IG that didn't feel very genuine.
Yeah.
And so I would say, like, be genuine, and also, like, don't be afraid to just send a message or comment or
what's the worst
engage
that can
with that
happen?
person. Yeah, like what's the worst that could happen in that situation? There's nothing weird about it. And odds are the other person on social media also probably could use a friend, or maybe wants the same thing that you do out of a friendship. You know, like one thing could lead to another, and all of a sudden you're in Denver and you're just like hanging out. And inviting them to your wedding.
Yeah. Do you know how dope that is? I feel special.
Yes.
Yes, but let's do, how do you know when to start using a belt when lifting? What's your advice?
When it comes to, well, I think when it comes to myself, I know that threshold, like coming from a back injury too, specifically on deadlifts, right? Like I would say deadlifts and squats are the two that I've been needing to use a belt for, because I've now reached this threshold where I notice my form is going, but also seeing my spine and my back. Like when you see that, you know, the rounding, when it goes like, it's different for everyone. Do not wear a belt, in my opinion, for every single movement. Like I see people who do it. I've seen people wear belts for warm-ups. I've seen people wear belts for their mobility. I've seen people wear belts on the cardio machines. And I'm like, we need to not do that. But they're meant to protect you. Like that's what they're meant for, and to build up strength and to also build up confidence in a movement while reducing risk of injury. So when you get into those heavier lifts, record yourself, because I think, I know based on recording myself, like that's when I realized, okay, I really need a belt here. Like I recorded myself and also knew the feeling of it. But also getting closer to your 1 rep max, a certain threshold closer to that too. So
fun fact, on my TikTok account, I had some random chick. She was commenting to someone else who was asking me a question. But basically,
I love that.
Yeah, it's very fun. She tried to answer for me. So her response to the person's question when it came to belts, you should have a belt on when you're performing any lift that is 60% or higher of your 1 rep max. She said that, and I was like, bullshit. I would say the most common time you see someone using a belt is when they're pushing maybe like 90%.
I was gonna say 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even then 100%, like you're testing a PR. You want to come from it from a holistic approach, not just numbers. So what I would say is if you feel unstable in your lifts and it's mainly stemming from core instability, that's a time where maybe, okay, looking into a belt, investing in one, might benefit you. Or if you know for a fact that you don't know how to create pressure within the trunk of your body during a compound lift, I'd say that's another situation. So, belts, that's what they're meant to do, is create pressure within the actual like abdominal area, like all around. It's your whole core, not just your abs, but it's supposed to help you create that pressure so you can properly brace the deeper muscles and actually control what's going on there. But that's the purpose of a belt, is to provide that stability and that pressure within the trunk area, so when you're performing your lifts, the middle portion needs to be nailed, because it's not just upper and lower extremities.
Yeah.
This is your belt, your natural belt. If it's not trained correctly and you're constantly using a belt, like an actual weightlifting belt, to provide the purpose, like you're probably missing out on a lot of benefits and moves.
Yeah.
What is your favorite brand of athleisure wear? I already know what you're leaning towards right now.
Tell me what you're thinking.
Lululemon.
Yeah.
She really likes Lululemon.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm all about quality here, and I like consistency. So when I can find something I like and not have to worry about them coming out with something new like every single month, right? Where I'm like, okay, now I have to adjust my sizing and I have to adjust this. I like Lululemon for the consistency and the quality, because I know what I like, and then I'll buy every color in it.
Yes. I was actually looking up the brand that I like because I wanted to make sure I said the name right. The one that I think is like the coolest right now is called Dark Sport. I really like them. So that I would say they're awesome for just in terms of like if I buy their stuff, I genuinely like what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like sports bras, leggings, shorts, it all differs. It can vary from Gymshark to, and Gymshark is like certain pieces. Like I don't love all their pieces. It's very specific pieces.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I used to love Balance Athletica a lot, but then they started going lifestyle approach instead of lifting. There's just a bunch of different ones, honestly. Creepiest or weirdest gym experience, yeah.
I had a recent one that was kind of weird and creepy, and I just think like bad vibes, you know? It's this dude that works out at my gym. He found me on Instagram because my gym will reshare like some of my stuff that like is taken at their gym. He like started DMing me, and then he started talking to me like at the physical gym. And I told him multiple times now that I have a fiance, and my fiance has worked out with me at the gym. My fiance has spotted me, and it's been like this persisting thing.
Is he
Seen
flirting
him
with you?
me? Yeah.
Ew.
Oh yeah, like I was doing like 500-pound leg press one time, and he was doing it, right? Like I'm at the machine, like doing my thing. In the corner of my eye, I see him staring at me. He runs over to me, gives me like a high five, right? Like, oh, high five, good job. Like, so what are you doing next? Like, what are you doing after the gym? Da 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 da. And I was like, not hanging out with you, dude. So what's your creepiest or weirdest encounter in the gym?
I have a lot.
She does have a lot.
Yeah.
I've heard them.
The creepy one. Dude found me on Instagram. He was a regular at the gym. I was a newbie personal trainer, just starting off from front desk to trainer. And this guy who's a regular, because I knew him from checking him in at the front desk, he found me on Instagram, and I was private. I don't know how he followed me, but he commented on a photo of me in a bikini that I took with friends. And he said, as the comment, just a bunch of ends. And immediately I blocked him. I deleted the comment. So usually after that, you'd think the person's like, oh shit, she didn't like that. He didn't take it that way. He actually approached me in the parking lot of where I work. I was getting out of my car, had my trainer shirt on. I'm about to run in to do a session with a client. And as I'm like reaching for my training bag that's in the passenger seat, I hear someone say, hey, and I look up and it's this man. And I'm like, hi. And he's close to my driver's side. He's right there. And he decides this is the time to bring up the photo from Instagram. So he says, that photo you posted, very nice. And I look at him and I say, okay. And he didn't know what to say after I said that. So he's like, oh, okay, have a good day. And like, I haven't talked to him since. He did try to talk to me once recently about if I'm still teaching classes there, which I haven't worked there for the last 2 years. So I said no, and then I walked away. And just so you know, this isn't some like cute 20-something-year-old dude. He was in his 40s. He brought his teenage children into the gym. And I'm pretty sure he has a wife, because there's a woman about his age that comes in every now and then, and they leave together. So, sir, the fuck?
What is the biggest mistake you've made in the gym?
Overtraining, probably. I would say that. Yeah, like at the beginning, I went from 0 to 100 really fast. And then in reality, I was doing low weight, high rep stuff all the time. I did like 10 moves per workout instead of just like 6 to 8. But even then I would just do like 6 to 7 nowadays, depending on how hard I pushed myself that day. But I had this idea in my head that the harder I work, the more likely I'll get the results. When in reality, overtraining delays your progress, and you're not giving your body adequate time to rest. So you're reversing the effect that you want. You're not getting the lean muscle mass, you're not going to put it on because you're constantly damaging the muscle. And then on top of that, your energy levels will shoot down. Your workouts are not going to feel great. In fact, it probably will feel more miserable.
I'll choose a different answer, because mine would definitely be the same. Probably one of the other biggest mistakes is just listening to people that actually are not qualified to give certain advice.
That's a good one.
Because the best example was in college. I would go into the total nutrition in our school town, and I had these dudes giving me all these different dieting pills, fat burners, different stuff, right? And just trusting them, right? Because I'm the girl over there just trying to learn how I should achieve my goals, and that was definitely when I was in that mindset of under eating, overtraining, all these things. Listening to these guys and never asking for a moment what those side effects would be of taking these things, why, or asking why enough. People don't ask why enough. Like, hey, here's your macros. Well, okay, great. Why are these my macros? Like, what is the purpose of them? Like, we want to educate, you know, and tell people and give them value and knowledge. So listening to people that did not have the credentials or the experience or anything to give me that advice, because at the end of the day, these dudes were just employed by Total Nutrition and they take one little test in order to work there, and it's nothing crazy or intense or anything like that, and they're there to make a sale and not to actually care for your health at the end of the day, and it ends up not working out very well. So
But yeah, that's all.
thank you guys for watching,
doing this with me. But yeah, hopefully this helped some of you if you needed advice on PT stuff or just want to learn about us, you know? Yeah, I feel like we gave a lot of information. Too much, honestly. That's it, kids. Have a wonderful rest of your day or night, and see you next time. All right.
Oh, that was so cool. People are so kind. Like,
I'm down to be friends with literally anyone, unless
really
you're a psycho. In which case, please stay away.
we've watched
We've watched
Joe way
from
too
you.
many horror movies.
That too. The dude in the attic.
Check
My
your
room
attic.
has an attic.
Check
bro.
your